Okay, so the next thing we're gonna make is a Moroccan lentil soup in a jar. And this one actually makes 2 jars. So you can either give one to 2 different people, or you can keep one for yourself and give one away. And so for this recipe, the first thing we're gonna do is mix up all of the spices first. So you're gonna need a little jar that you can put things into. And we're going to start by adding a teaspoon of garlic powder. Just into the jar. And then we're going to do a teaspoon of cinnamon. We're going to do a teaspoon of cumin. Now for those of you who like coriander, you would put 2 teaspoons of coriander in as well with this. Coriander does not go over very well in my family, so I'm not going to put that in for the moment. But you could add the 2 teaspoons of coriander in now at the same time. And then we're going to put in a teaspoon of ground pepper. I'm just going to kind of estimate how much we're going to use on this one because I'm going to grind it fresh. I like fresh ground pepper. And it also means if you want a little bit more in there, you can put a little bit more or a little bit less. That's about right. And then we're going to do 2 teaspoons of turmeric. And you could half this if you wanted to just make 1 jar instead of doing 2 jars. You could just half everything and that would work fine too. And then we're going to do 2 teaspoons of dried parsley. Good. And then 2 teaspoons of salt. And then we're going to take all of that and just mix it up. So I tend to use the same spoon that I measured everything with because I like to save a dish. But feel free to grab either a little whisk or a spoon or fork, whatever works best for you. And then once this is all mixed up, nice and pretty, then we're going to start to put this into the jars. So you want to have both jars with you at the same time because then you can do them at the same time. And we're going to make little layers. So first thing we're going to do is you need 3½ cups of red lentils. What you're going to do is start by putting 1 cup into each jar. So we're going to put 1 cup of lentils into the bottom of each jar. And again, I'm just measuring out from the top here. So half. Good. And then 1. You just want to kind of shake it around a bit so that it makes it fairly level. Just a little prettier. And same thing on the other side. Half. Good. And then 1. We're going to add more of that again in just a minute. Okay. And then we're going to use the spice and we're going to divide it equally, approximately, into both of the jars. Okay. So, still keeping that funnel there, we're just going to slowly bring about half of it in. And same thing, you can use the spoon to push it over to the edges so that you can see those layers there. And then same thing here. Good. Push it over. Nice. Good. And then we're going to put in some dried onion flakes. So we're going to use a total of half of a cup. So it's about this much here. Again, I'm going to use my ½ cup measure because I like to do things with as few dishes as possible. It saves me a little bit of time. So same thing, we're going to put the onion flakes into the top. 1/4 cup goes into each one. Oops. And that is why I use the funnel instead of just trying to dump it in. And take our spoon, push it again over to the edges so it makes those nice little layers again. And then we're going to add 3/4 cup of lentils into each one. So again, we're going to take our ½ cup measure and put ½ cup first, and then our 1/4 cup measure, pour 3/4 of a cup on top of one, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So again, a 1/2 cup of lentils in the top, another 1/4 to make that 3/4. Good. And then we can take these all out and just put those off to the side. And then we just seal them up. Oh, no, wait. First, we're going to put a bay leaf in the top. I almost forgot. Good. So we'll put 1 bay leaf in the top of that one. And we'll do another one in the top here. And it just makes it so when they open it, it's a little bit of a little surprise for them as well. And then we're going to close up the tops of the jars, nice and tight. And then you have your jars all ready to go. And these are really nice because they're super simple when you make them. So all you have to add is 7 cups of water. And then you put it on the stove, cook it for about 40 minutes, 20 minutes covered, 20 minutes uncovered, and it's done. And then you end up with a really nice meal. And you could pair that with your bread as well for a extra nice meal for the day.